At the bottom of the National Day Parade, the band performing 7 unique formations in a show of coordination and precision.
marching contingents are over there. The marching contingents are over there, the soldiers. Over there.
Ladies and gentlemen, the parade regimental sergeant major for National Day Parade 2023 is Master Warrant Officer Muhammad Ayub bin Said Abdul Qadir, Master Trainer, Infantry Combat Training Center 2, Infantry Training Institute. Ceremony in the Panam also marks the return of full-scale marching contingents since 2019. Marching onto the Padang now, the 34 marching contingents representing the Singapore Armed Forces, Home Team, Youth Uniform Groups, and various social and economic contingents.
All the military are here.
Marching at the forefront of the SAF contingents of our Singapore Army, Navy, and Air Force, together with our own team contingents from the Singapore Police Force and the Singapore Civil Defense Force. Behind them are the uniformed youth organizations formed by the students. These contingents represent our youth's resolve to defend Singapore and their commitment to Singapore's progress. Towards the rear of the Padang are the contingents representing the social and economic sectors of our nation. These civilian organizations and companies showcase how far Singapore has progressed, both socially and economically, over the years. Together, the parade reflects the unwavering dedication and resilience exhibited by both military and civilian sectors of Singapore in their commitment to defend our nation and to move onward as one. Ladies and gentlemen, the parade commander will now take over command of the parade from the parade regimental sergeant major.
He's over there, the parade commander, the white uniform and the white hat. Yeah, time to take over to the parade commander. He's over there.
These are the sacrifices we make so that we can put up a wonderful show for all Singaporeans. NDP is not a short sprint, it is a journey. And we will enjoy this journey in unity. Let's let our team onward and start.
Ladies and gentlemen, marching in now are the 36 regimental colors, the 4 state colors, and the 5 Guard of Honor contingents. The colors are military flags that originated as a means of identification in battle. In the past, when colors were carried on active service, they stood as a rallying point and the scene of their last stand. Because of their importance, a group of soldiers, the Colors Party, was assigned to protect the colors whenever they were brought into battle. The significance of colors today is more symbolic in nature. They are the embodiment of the institution's history, honor, and tradition. The Colors Regimental Sergeant Major is Military Expert 3 Jason Tama, Lead Controller, Maintenance Operation Control Center, 805 Squadron, Air Power Generation Command. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's gun salute will be executed by the soldiers from the 21st Battalion, Singapore Artillery at Burlion Park. Watch as the M3G flowing rods operated by the soldiers from the 35th Battalion, Singapore Combat Engineers, move into position for the gun salute. The Guard of Honor contingents are proudly formed by the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the newly inaugurated Digital and Intelligence Service, and the Singapore Police Force. The parade commander this evening is Lieutenant Colonel Roger Chia, Commanding Officer, Frogman School, and Underwater Demolition Group. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our senior parliamentary secretaries, mayors, ministers of state, and senior ministers of state to this evening's parade. This is a simulation. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us at the parade today are our cabinet ministers, senior ministers, and deputy prime ministers. This is a simulation. Present also at the parade today are our former president, Dr. Tony Tan Keng Yang, and Emeritus Senior Minister, Mr. Goh Chok Tong. Let's give them a warm welcome. This is a simulation. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the arrival of our Prime Minister, Mr. Lee Hsien Loong. This is a simulation.
Bro.
That's so funny.
March! Forward! Okay. Halt! And stop!
Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong will now take his seat. Prime Minister Lee is Singapore's third Prime Minister. This is his 19th appearance at the National Day Parade as our country's Prime Minister.
他演到很像一下。
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated.
The actual video is already out.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the arrival of our reviewing officer, Minister for Education, Mr. Chang Chun Say, and our national anthem.
Wow, real one at Chan Chun Sing.
Oh.
Chan Chun Sing.
Wow.
Wow,
Got someone.
it's really him, Chan Chun Sing.
Finally.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing. From the RSAF 5 F-16D Plus Fighting Falcons, led by Commanding Officer 145 Squadron, Senior Lieutenant Colonel Gabriel Young, will execute a spectacular bomb burst, followed by 3 F-15 SG Eagles who fly past over the Padang in a salute to the nation. Coming to you live from the cockpit of Senior Lieutenant Colonel Gabriel Young.
I think it's coming from over there.
And here they come! Please be seated.
Oh my god, so loud, man. It's really good. It feels good to be loud.
Ladies and gentlemen, our reviewing officer will now inspect the parade. As a mark of respect, the 25-pounder guns will fire in salute to our reviewing officer. This year, the gun salute is executed by the gunners from the 21st Battalion Singapore Artillery on board the N3G floating rafts, operated by the 35th Battalion Singapore Combat Engineers at Merlion Park.
God, he dressed very formally like a president. Yeah, I know. It's just a
The ceremonial vehicle will now drive our reviewing officer around the paddock. Come on, Singapore, let's wave our flags to our reviewing officer as the vehicle drives past you. Enjoy this moment at the paddock as the crowds and contingents are gathered here today to celebrate Singapore's 58th birthday, together with our reviewing officer. The guard of honor will now execute the feu de joie, or fire of joy, to celebrate our nation's birthday.
Kawan kehormatan akan menembak penunjuk. Isikan peluru. Obat. Tembak. Isikan lagi. Obat. Tembak. Isikan lagi. Obat.
Fire.
Tembak. Kawalan kehormatan. Tembak. Tembak. Stop. Kawalan kehormatan. Usul. Tembak. Stop. by Steven Nathan. Stop.
Our reviewing officer will now take his seat.
Right. Hello there. Hey.
Ladies and gentlemen, in conjunction with our nation's 58th birthday, the RSAF is also celebrating its 55th anniversary since its formation in 1968. As a tribute to the nation, the RSAF has put together an enhanced aerial display. Leading the aerial display is the A330 multi-role tanker transport aircraft from 112 Squadron. This versatile MRTT aircraft is capable of providing air-to-air refueling to extend the endurance of the RSAF's fighter aircraft, as well as conduct HAPI
Oh, over there.
Escorting the MRTT are four state-of-the-art F-16D Plus fighting Falcons from 145 Squadron. This formation is the advanced multi-mission helicopter, the CH-47 Foxtrot Chinook, a new variant from 127 Squadron, and also known as the state flag bearer at every NDP. And making its first and proud appearance at the NDP are two H-225M medium-lift helicopters from 125 Squadron. With its high load carry capacity and in-flight agility, the H-225M provides the RSAF with more effectiveness and capability in meeting operational demands. Entering show center from the right of MBS, two F-15SG Eagles will perform a breathtaking high-G combat turn with full afterburner. With a single F-15SG Eagle from the opposite direction, doing a vertical fly
Happy birthday, Singapore!
Oh, it's up there.
Kawanan komandan yang lain, tulah, senja, tolong. Baik, akan berjalan dulu dalam masa cepat. Kawanan komandan Sekolah Kehormatan Tertentu. Yang lain, ke kiri dan ke kanan. Bow!
Ladies and gentlemen, we now see the Colors Party forming up for the traditional march past, together with the 5 Guard of Honor contingents. A total of 34 marching contingents are featured in this evening's parade. Standing proudly behind them are the 5 contingents from the SAF and Home Team, 10 contingents from the uniform groups, 14 socio-economic organizations, the SAF Central Band, and the SPF Band. Together, the contingents represent the country's commitment to the 6 pillars of total defense: military, civil, social, economic, digital, and psychological defense. Colors are awarded for achievement in the fields of combat, training, administration, efficiency, and service to the community. As a mark of respect, please rise as the Colors Party marches past your immediate front. The parade commander, Lieutenant Colonel Roger Chott. The 4 state colors are in the forefront, followed by the parade regimental Sergeant Major, Master Warrant Officer Muhammad Ayub bin Said Abdul Qadir. Following behind are the 36 regimental colors, with the colors regimental Sergeant Major, Military Expert 3, Jason Tom. Army Guard of Honor contingent is next, formed by men from the 1st Commando Battalion. It is led by Major Go Wei Yang. We turn our attention now to the Navy Guard of Honor contingent, formed by men from the Naval Diving Unit. This contingent is led by Major Lin Qian Hui. We now see the Republic of Singapore Air Force contingent, comprising men and women from the Air Power Generation Command. The 3rd Guard of Honor contingent is led by Major Kelvin Chow. Up next is the contingent from the Digital and Intelligence Service, comprising men and women from the Joint Intelligence Command.
Oh, I think it's a new.
SAFC4 Command. This 4th Guard of Honor contingent.
I think this is the new contingent. I think this is the new contingent. Yeah. I have not seen this contingent before. So I think it should be the new one.
Finally, the 5th Guard of Honor contingent is the Singapore Police.
This one is the
Following
old one.
the contingent are men and women from the
The
Police
current
Training Command of the Singapore Police Force, led by Deputy Superintendent of Police Muhammad Omar Sharif. Ladies and gentlemen, marching towards you are our uniformed services from the SAF and Home Team. Leading the way is the Singapore Army contingent, led by Captain Vince R. and Captain Jonas Lee. Next, we have the Republic of Singapore Navy contingent, led by Military Expert 4, Tay Kee Kong. And the Republic of Singapore Air Force contingent, led by Captain Christopher Ha. Facing the Singapore Police Force contingent, led by Assistant Superintendent of Police Charles Heng. And the contingent of the Singapore Civil Defence Force, led by Captain Lin Hung Tan. Next, we have the uniformed groups. Leading the National Cadet Corps Land is Cadet Lieutenant Dawson Yo. And the National Cadet Corps Sea and Air, led by Cadet Lieutenant Tay Min Chi. Behind them are the National Police Cadet Corps, led by Cadet Inspector Lim Wee Siang Darren. And the National Civil Defence Cadet Corps, led by Cadet Lieutenant Justin Tang. Next, we have the St. John Brigade Singapore, led by Corps Staff Officer Grade 6, Faith Teng. And the Singapore Red Cross Society, led by Volunteer Officer Goh Jia Yong. The next two contingents are the Girls Brigade Singapore, led by Cadet Warrant Officer Gracia Quay. And the Boys Brigade in Singapore, led by Senior Cadet Lieutenant Benjamin Ngor. Finally, we have the Singapore Scout Association, led by Venture Scout Chung Yi Hong Terrence. And Girl Guide Singapore, led by young adult Yo Shin Yi. Our social and economic groups are up next. Leading the way, we have People's Action Party, PAP Community Foundation, led by Mr. Edward Chia. And the National Trades Union Congress, led by Mr. Robin Chong. They are followed by Keppel Corporation Limited, led by Ms. Samantha Young. And Singtel, led by Mr. Yap Tzu Hui. Next up, playing a critical role in advancing Singapore's water resilience over the last 60 years is PUB, Singapore's National Water Agency, led by Mr. Ramshah bin Osman. We also have Ocean International Private Limited, led by Mr. Kelvin Ten. Next, we have Citrium Limited, led by Mr. Xiao Lin Ho. And ESA International Private Limited, led by Mr. Muhammad Irfan. They are followed by DBS Bank Limited, led by Mr. Selva Kumar Esra. And Changi Airport, led by Ms. Ng Wen Yang. We now see One Team Singapore, led by Ms. Rosila Abdullah. And Singapore Post, led by Mr. Gabriel Koh. And the final two social economic contingents are Grab, led by Mr. Wong Duto. And the Hardware Network Youth Charity, led by Mr. Anthony Chang Yong Hien. The marching music for the parade and ceremony is provided by the members from the Singapore Armed Forces Central Band and the Singapore Police Force Band, led by Director of Music, Deputy Superintendent Lau Li Feng, and the band drum majors, Military next to Ahmad Nurdaya bin Harun and Senior Staff Sergeant Mohammed Nurazam bin Ishaq. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up is the next segment of this year's National Day Parade, the Total Defense Parade. Sit back and enjoy.
They say there's a part for everyone, and my teacher said my part is to teach the uncles and aunties about total defense. Uncle, 你知道 total defense 是什么吗？不知道。My teacher said I have to volunteer because I was sleeping in class. Was I sleeping?
Yes, you were sleeping.
没有 you know total defense? So any ideas on how I can explain it to Amma? Wow, this pencil case quite good, huh? Can do many things.
Total defense. Why don't you ask Amma? She's outside.
妈，这个是你要找的东西，你还记得？
Grandma began sharing her memories of Singapore. It wasn't what I was looking for.
Boy, 你是不是有心事？
阿公，你知道 total defense 是什么吗？
知道。
阿公，你怎样解释 total defense 呢？
很简单，
好，我知道了。
我用简单的方式解释给人听。不是。
Hey, Siti, sorry, I'm a bit late. I think it's going to rain.
End of the
Can anyone
total
see
defense,
umbrellas?
then that's all.
Hey, boy,
Until the
can you
start of
find
the
an
show
umbrella?
segment, then I will
We like an umbrella, we can share together. Can share? Okay, can. Bye, boy.
I still didn't have my answer. It gave me digital defense, economic defense. Don't worry, there's a power trip. Let's fix this. This should work. And then it hit me.
Total defense. Can you find an umbrella?
简单的方式解释给人
This should work. The idea. I guess everyone did have a plan.
Ladies and gentlemen, watch as 6 total defense floats make their way onto St. Andrew's Road. Come on, Singapore, wave your flags as the floats pass by your immediate front. First up, social defense. This float is inspired by the act of sharing an umbrella. Like how an umbrella protects us from the rain, our acts of kindness for one another strengthen our social cohesion. Regardless of race, language, or religion, social defense keeps us strong and united when others try to divide us. Second, psychological defense. The design of this float is inspired by a grandmother's box of memories. Like her, I'm sure we've all seen common experiences and shared memories of what makes us uniquely Singapore. Psychological defense is our love for Singapore and our desire to protect our way of life. Oh, remember Singer the Lion? Everyone say hi, Singer!
Hi.
Third is economic defense. Inspired by the act of lifting weights to grow our muscles, economic defense is about how we can play our part to keep our economy strong. We can do so through skills upgrading and lifelong learning. This empowers us to remain competitive and relevant to the rest of the world. Fourth is digital defense. Like how a food cover net keeps the flies away, digital defense protects us from pests in the digital world. All of us must adopt good cybersecurity practices to secure our digital way of life. This includes guarding against online falsehoods and fake news. For the pests out there, if you commit the crime, be prepared to do the time. Fifth, civil defense. Our everyday heroes from the SCDF will always have our backs. But civil defense is also about you and me being prepared to deal with emergencies ourselves. From learning how to perform basic first aid to keeping emergency items on standby, everyone can learn something and everyone has a part to play. And finally, military defense. Remember the sister's pencil case with many compartments that can do many things? Think of that as military defense, a strong and capable defense that stands ready to perform operations in peace and war, protecting our air, land, sea, and digital space. If you look closely at the float, there is a ship, a tank, and a fighter plane. Even the numbers on the calculator spell out D, I, and S, the SAF's 4th service. So there you have it, presenting to you the 6 pillars of total defense. Put your hands together for the participants on parade. Ladies and gentlemen, the siren you hear is the important message signal. The signal is also what you will hear on the 15th of February on Total Defense Day. More importantly, this signal indicates that we have an important public announcement to make. That the defense of Singapore is anchored on a strong and capable SAF and home team. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together to welcome the Total Defense Hardware Drive Past. Entering the parking of vehicles from the SAF, led by the Leopard 2 main battle tank. Following closely behind is the Hunter Armored Vehicle,
what's up,
the
man?
Terrence Infantry Carrier Vehicle, the High Mobility Artillery Rocket System, and the Light Strike Vehicle. Next are the Aster 30 and Spider ground-based air defense vehicles from the Republic of Singapore Air Force. The column is completed by the Republic of Singapore Navy with the Harpoon missile and the unmanned surface vessel. Watch as the second column of vehicles make their entry. Leading the convoy is Singapore Police Force with the next generation fast response car, the expressway patrol car, the armored personnel carrier, and the newly commissioned tactical strike vehicle. Next up from the Singapore Army are the Mobile Adjustable Ramp System, the Peacekeeper Response Vehicle, and the EOD Fast Response Vehicle. And finally, from the Singapore Civil Defense Force, the Light Fire Attack Vehicle, the Hazmat Utility Vehicle, the Ambulance, and the Pump Ladder. Turn your attention to the center of the pylon. In front of you are representatives from our youth uniform groups, economic and social groups, and personnel from the SAF, SPF, and SCDF. Watch as they unfurl the total defense flag, the coming together of individuals from different walks of life, regardless of race, language, or religion, reminds us that everyone has a part to play in total defense. More importantly, it is only together that we can keep Singapore strong. Ladies and gentlemen, to honor all who have contributed towards the defense of our country and to inspire the next generation to continue to give their best for Singapore, we present to you the Total Defense Parade Salute!
With all my mind, I will